Hi, Laura here again. I am also the prosecutor here at our court. I wear many hats as we are a bit undermanned and need your funding. So as a prosecutor, the most influential role that I carry is in deciding to file charges against someone or not. I have virtually limitless discretion in making these decisions, and many decisions are beyond judicial review, meaning the courts don't have the right to overrule my decision to prosecute or to not. I also oversee an offender's parole process. Similarly to how a probation officer oversees probation, I oversee parole. Being that I see and play a role in how many cases get charged annually, I am acutely aware of the growing number of cases that pass through the courts every year. According to the documentary 13th, in 1972 there were 300,000 prisoners in the U.S., whereas today there are 2.3 million. And the increased use of incarceration of the mentally ill and drug users has greatly contributed to this. The United States is home to 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's prisoners. So I'm here to discuss how I, as a prosecutor within the Washington Rehabilitation and Reintegration Center, can reduce these numbers. As mentioned in the video, how prison abuses people with mental illness, we don't send people to jail for having cancer, and yet we criminalize people for having behaviors completely beyond their control. We've seen how the prison system also only worsens many of these mental illnesses, anxiety disorders, schizophrenia, bipolar, especially with the inhumane use of solitary confinement. So our program plans to implement the use of specialty courts, specifically mental health courts, to oversee adjudication of defendants with mental health conditions. These courts link defendants with the necessary treatment even before their case is heard, helping identify, assess, and monitor individuals for specific needs. The goal of this is to foster collaboration between the justice and the mental health systems. Our program would like to emulate programs as seen in New York, like the Brooklyn Mental Health Court, which offer community-based treatment in place of incarceration for defendants with mental illness. The Brooklyn Mental Health Court has diverted 1,000 mentally ill adults from incarceration and placed them into treatment programs within the community. This court has showed a reduction of rearrest by 46% and an increase in compliance with court mandates by 84%. So our program really would like to mirror this and reduce recidivism in the same way Brooklyn has seen. So as a prosecutor, my role within this program would be in using my discretionary power to charge cases involving those with mental illness as cases that take a broader look at understanding a defendant, their mental health, and the circumstances that brought them into the court versus a narrow-minded focus of a defendant's specific offense. So through my role as a parole monitor, I would also oversee the parole process, but rather than monitoring treatment of an offender as they come out of incarceration, I can monitor the progress of their treatment as early as the day as their arrest day. And this is in the hopes of avoiding incarceration and being able to reintegrate them into society as a functioning member. Thanks again for your time, and I ask you to consider the Washington Rehabilitation and Reintegration Center for your available funds.